Second Cup is brought to you by Roswell Park Comprehensive Care Center.
Hey everyone, good morning to 8 o'clock on the start of a Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. Taylor took off for Florida. She's leaving us. So we brought in our friend Lisa Ludwig. Good morning, Lisa. I'm glad you're with us.
Thanks for having
Hey,
me.
no problem. You know, this is a really big deal for you guys right now. So for those of you who don't know Lisa runs Shakespeare in Delaware Park. And this is the 50th year of the festival, which is a huge deal. So walk us through, first of all, my sound is crazy. Am I too hot or what's going on?
Well,
Okay, and tell me more.
I didn't want to say anything.
My mic is crazy. Do I sound like a robot? Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone. My mic, my mic should not sound like a robot anymore. Let's start over. Good morning, everyone. It's 8 o'clock on the start of a Friday. We've finally made it to the end of the week. Lisa Ludwig is here with us. Lisa runs Shakespeare in Delaware Park. So, Lisa, 50 years of Shakespeare.
Yes.
To be or not to be?
That is not the question, because we are to be.
That's amazing.
I
That's
know.
so cool. I mean, 50 years is a milestone for anyone, but for a program like this to have lasted 5 decades, that's huge.
Yeah, you know, it's always interesting. Saul Elkin, who was our founder 50 years ago, was here in Buffalo, New York, teaching at UB. And ironically, or not ironically, his mentor was Joe Papp, who started the Shakespeare in the Park in New York City. And Joe Papp's talking to Norm back in 1975, 76, and he's like, what kind of Shakespeare is going on in Buffalo?
Huh.
And Saul's like, well, you know, there's some in colleges and things. And he goes, well, why don't you start a professional Shakespeare company? And Saul's like, okay, how would I do that? And he goes, well, just call the mayor. So Saul literally...
Easier said than done these days.
Right? But Saul literally called Stan Mikowski and he said, I saw this beautiful, you know, amphitheater type thing in Delaware Park, and can we start a Shakespeare festival? And we did. And it was part of UB for the first couple of years. And now Saul always said he hoped it would last for a couple of years. And here we are, 50 years later, one of the largest and second oldest free Shakespeare festivals in the country.
Right, let's emphasize that. It's free. I mean, you can go to Shakespeare in Shakespeare Hill in Delaware Park. What, Tuesdays and Thursdays?
No, Tuesday through Sundays.
Oh,
Our
wow.
only day off is Monday.
Oh my gosh. Are you performing this year?
I'm later this year, but
Okay.
not in the park this summer.
What shows are going to be in the park
Well,
this
we
year?
actually just opened our touring production, which we can get to later.
Okay.
But that's a Romeo and Juliet abridged, and it's about an hour and 15-minute long Romeo and Juliet that is actually touring to 25 different venues throughout Western New York.
Wow.
Now, our main stage shows open next week. June 19th is 12th night.
Love the 12th.
Everybody loves 12th Night. And we have a stellar cast. Eileen Dugan is our director of that production. And then our second show of the summer will be Richard III.
Oh, okay, so tell us about the 12th Night for those of you who are not familiar with Shakespeare. It's something we read in like 9th grade.
Right. You know, and what do? Shakespeare is meant to be seen and heard, so we make our high school students read it.
Okay, right, exactly.
Yeah, because that's the way we should do it. And if you're lucky enough to have a great teacher who's going to make it accessible for you, you know, you're lucky. And if not, then you feel daunted and you go, oh, I don't like Shakespeare, but you will. So you just need to come to the Hill and see it. So 12th Night is typical Shakespeare. You've got your shipwreck, you've got your mistaken identities, you've got your love triangles, you've got your clowns who mess things up here and there, and it really is one of people's favorites.
And then Richard III, you said, is what?
That is going to open June 23rd, 24th. And Greg Stewart, who's just been on Broadway in Good Night and Good Luck with George Clooney, is going to be directing that.
Oh, no way.
He's from Buffalo.
Stop it.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yes, he grew up in Eden. Very good friends of ours, has done Shakespeare and many, many theaters here in Buffalo. He moved out of Buffalo years ago when The American Side was filmed here. I don't know if you remember that with Matthew Broderick. That was his movie.
Oh my gosh.
So he's done a lot of TV and film and Broadway. And yeah, he was just in, I went to see it 2 weeks ago. And John Hamm and the Obamas were there while I was.
Stop. How
They
cool
walked
is
right
that?
by me, and I text Greg before the show. I said, "I hope they're not nervous. I'm here."
Okay, wait, can we talk about that for a second? How
Yeah.
cool was that, seeing them?
I'm not making this up. I have pictures. Well, John Hamm was at the bar with his girlfriend, and I looked over and I'm like, oh,
my God,
there's
you're John Hamm.
Right. And then we knew there was some security that night, and I'm not kidding because I had standing room. I'm standing right here, and Michelle walks by, and I'm like trying to get my phone
Yeah.
out. And 2 seconds later, Barack walks by, and he waves over to us, and he's like, hello. And literally right where you are, and I'm like, what is it? But Greg said every night. I mean, it was George Clooney.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
night was star-studded. And, it's just like that at the Hill. Here,
Yeah,
Shakespeare in
it
Delaware
is.
Park. It is. You
And
never
maybe
know.
you'll see Katie Morse there.
You never know who's going to be out there.
I've never been to Shakespeare in the Park, is what Jason is saying. So
Oh.
talk to us about what you would expect and what you can, bring with you, what you should bring with you.
Well, it's an open hill. So you want to bring a blanket or chairs. You want to bring a picnic. You want to bring your favorite beverage.
Yes.
And then it's just an open hill, and you go there and you stake out. You can see in the pictures here where you want to sit. I mean, we have some people, the shows start at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
We have some people, they want their certain spot on that hill. They'll come at 4:30, 5 o'clock just
Wow.
to scout out that spot. You don't have to be that diligent about it. And we also, for people who don't want to drag chairs along, I mean, we are free, but we will rent chairs and have them pre-set up for you.
Okay, that's
so you
great.
could call the office. Some people go, oh, I work until 6 o'clock and I can't get there, and it's worth it to them to call and rent a chair for $25, have it sitting there for them, and
just
be
walk in.
ready. Yeah.
So you can bring a bottle of wine or something with you.
You can bring whatever. We just ask that everything you bring, you take with
Sure.
you, or use the garbage cans before you
And
leave.
let me ask you this. I mean, exactly, Connie. Clean up your trash
Yes.
when you leave. That includes taking your best friend with you. I don't know where to park for Shakespeare in the Park.
It's all street parking around there on Lincoln Parkway, Rumsey, the side streets over there. You just want to make sure you do park where it's legal. If it says there is a sign, do not ever park here, please don't. But there will be signs that say you can only park until 10. Our shows are usually over by 9:30, but there's parking enforcement lets us stay there till 11,
Okay.
during the summer.
I also want to talk about this because you guys, I mean, the actors and actresses, the directors, the producers, you guys are all working all year long to really get this show off the
Yes.
ground. 2 shows, no
Yes.
less. What is that process like for you?
Yes, and I'm going to go there. I just wanted to say one more thing
Sure.
about parking. We have a golf cart now
Oh, okay.
that picks up people on Rumsey. So for people who don't want to walk that far, I just wanted to say that. You can call the office. We'll tell you all about it.
Something my mom would take advantage of.
Yes, you
I
should.
did.
You should. But yeah, it's like planning, a huge wedding event, all year long. I mean, to be totally honest, right now we're already planning. We haven't even opened this year, but we're in the midst of getting everything ready for next year. So we're constantly doing that. We have auditions every year. This year we auditioned early. We used to audition February, March. This year we auditioned in November.
Wow.
We saw about 175, 180 actors auditioned for the season, which was wonderful. We cast by December, then we get the production teams together. And yeah, it's just a lot of work.
So is that typical for a production like this? 6 months worth of rehearsals and
No,
training?
no, we only rehearse for 4 weeks. So what happens is there's so much professional theater in Buffalo. I mean, a lot of people don't know, there's after COVID, at least 20 professional theater companies in Buffalo. So people audition earlier and earlier because if I want Ed in my show, I've got to, cast you early. Luckily
Act
in the
fast.
luckily in the summer there's fewer professional theater companies going on, but yeah, we audition early, but then rehearsals are only for 4 weeks before
Wow.
we open.
So is it, is there almost like a comedy of error sometimes, or
Sometimes.
do things go off the rails?
Sure, but we try. As long it's magic. Theater's magic. You'll never know about that.
Right.
But it's also outdoor theater. I mean, I tell the infamous story, and probably every actor who's been at Shakespeare, I've had sandflies the size of my fist just fly into your mouth during the middle of something. And
woof.
you've just got to keep going.
Is it rain or shine?
We try. Yeah. So last year was very rainy. We actually had to cancel 12 shows, which was huge for us.
Yeah.
But we don't cancel till the last minute. So if it's raining all day, if we can get the stage dry enough so that it is safe for the actors and, safe for our audience, we'll go on. So the show's at 7:00. We'll never usually cancel before 6:30. And that's usually if it's pouring. It's so fun. We'll have audiences sit on the hill. They'll buy an umbrella at the merch booth and wait, because they know we're going to do our very best to have a show no matter what.
Marguerite, I do have a knack for dramatics, but I would have a really hard time remembering all of these lines.
Again, they're professionals.
Yes.
People would say to you, how do you get in front of the camera every day?
Honestly, I'll be completely honest. I think it's easier to talk to a camera than it is to people.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because people are judgy, like the camera's just never
Well,
gonna...
I'm judging you every second.
Here's why, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love talking to everyone, and I'm, a talker, obviously. I was talking to Russ last night as we were falling asleep, and he goes, okay. And I said, well, what's wrong? And he goes, it's time to be quiet. I'm like, well, I have so many thoughts going through my head. But anyway, I just think that, when you're talking to a camera in the morning, it's you might not realize it, but it's just the three of us in the studio sometimes, and it's I'm just so much more comfortable.
Well, it's freeing because you're having a conversation.
Yeah.
And you can, if the conversation doesn't go well, you can steer it a different way,
Exactly.
perhaps. But on stage, you just have to trust your fellow actors and trust the process and be focused.
It's like Sean McDermott, trust the process.
Yeah.
I know. Come on, Ed, do Shakespeare with the Long Island accent. You'd be perfect. To be or not to be.
That would be good.
Hey, it's my Italian accent.
Well, have you come in and do a guest spot? You can do
Oh
a
my God, I would
walk-on
love
this
to.
summer.
I can just wave,
There
smile
you
and
go.
wave.
In a group scene.
Now talk about the traveling production.
Sure. So our traveling production came out of COVID, ironically.
Oh, okay.
We had done little educational pieces over the years, but when COVID hit and we couldn't do the main stage, we were one of the first theaters to be able to do anything. So that summer, at the end of August, we did a little tour where only 50 people could come. They had to sit 10 feet apart with masks on outside.
Remember
But we
that.
still did a show. And then we did a show the next year that was larger, and all of a sudden people said, well, we love going to the park, but some people have never heard of Shakespeare in Delaware
Which
Park.
is so crazy.
Right, I know, but some people can't get there anymore. So we started on our nights off. So we don't do the shows when we're on the main stage. So now a week and a half before we open, we're doing a touring production of Romeo and Juliet,
Fun.
abridged. And then it'll be on Mondays when we don't have shows, and in the week in between, but we're going to 25 different venues. So it's the perfect way for people who can't get enough Shakespeare to maybe go, oh my goodness, they're going to be at the Knox Farm. I'm going to go out there.
No way.
Yeah, Freedom Run Winery. We're going to be at the Central Terminal.
Cool.
We're going to be on the ship, the Chief.
The
Down at
the Seneca
Marina.
Chief.
Yes,
yeah,
we're
okay.
going to be there. We're going to be all over, so you can really go to our website, and they're free as well.
Great.
So that's ShakespeareInDelawarePark.org. You can find all the dates and locations. And that's like an hour and 15-minute version, a 5-person version of Romeo and Juliet.
How fun! How exciting! Do same actors play different characters?
Yes, in that show, the 5 actors play all the different characters.
Wow. John's linking you here to Shakespeare in Delaware Park in the comments. So if you are interested, as Peter is, make sure that you are checking out that link. This is super exciting. Lisa, I mean, you've got a history here in Buffalo. And the last time you were here, you were with Anthony Chase.
Oh, I was. Yes, he got a star last year.
And how exciting was that?
Yeah.
Talk about the theater community in Western New York and how tight-knit it is, but how, professional and amazing. I mean, that's just I'm trying to think of a really good word. Amazing doesn't do it.
Well, it's large for a city this size.
Yeah.
Whenever I go out and about and talk to people when I'm traveling and say how many theater companies we have here and the diversity of the theater company. You want to see a musical here, or this theater company, the Irish Classical does, the classical thing. Shakespeare does Shakespeare. Everybody's got their niche, and it's amazing. And we have so many. In my day when I was growing up, all the actors left town
Right.
because there was no theater here. now it's so wonderful that so many people are either coming back or staying. And like I said, we saw 180 professional actors audition just for us this year.
Wow. And that's the highest you've seen, or?
We're usually, between 100. Maybe at a peak one year we had 200, but that's a lot.
Wow.
For other theaters, for us, that's great.
One thing that I noticed, prolific is a great word, Michael, and thank you for sharing that. One thing that I noticed about Shakespeare is that when I was in New York City a couple of years ago, there's a Shakespeare production there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that it was a national thing. Or that there were other Shakespeares.
There's free Shakespeare festivals throughout the country.
And that blew my mind.
And the thing now in New York, even though it's free, you've got to get your tickets way in advance and stand in lines and things like that. But yeah, I try to, wherever I go somewhere in the summer, try to find out, is there a Shakespeare festival here, just to see what they're doing. But ours really is, as I said, one of the oldest and large. A lot of them are smaller. In different cities, but yeah, and right here we are, right here in Western New York.
It's
I think
so
that's
great.
Awesome.
Well, let's hope for some good weather.
Yes.
Connie wants to know, did you happen to see Laughing Alone with Salad at the Alloway Theater about 2 weeks ago?
I did not get to see it because I was in a show. But again, everything was up. It was very weird. The beginning of the season this year and the end of the season, like everybody's theater companies opened at the same time.
Of course.
And I was in a production of Everybody over at Ojima. And so it was like very odd because usually I try to see everything. And a couple nights I had off, I got to see things. But yeah, no, that was over at Alleyway. Lots of great people in that show.
What's next for you otherwise?
For me personally, I'm going to be on the Hill and on the tour all summer saying hi to people. But then Shakespeare in Delaware Park, because it's our 50th, we're doing a collaboration for Curtain Up with Road Less Traveled.
Fun.
Called The Book of Will. And it is about the Kingsmen putting together the first folio. And it sounds like, well, historic, and it's
yeah,
not.
I know what I was going to say.
No, it's very fun, and there's comedy in it and drama, and it's a beautiful story, and we'll be doing that at A Road Less Traveled. We open for Curtain Up, which this year is September 19th.
Fine. Looking forward to that. So with the 12th night, give me an idea of what your favorite scene is, your favorite line. Give me like something.
Oh, I don't
to
know
hang
if
my
I
hat
can
on.
do that. I have too many, friends in the show. But I will say this. The great thing about 12th night, again, everybody loves the show,
Yeah.
and we've got an eclectic group of actors. And when I say that, I mean we have a lot of Shakespeare favorites, Norm Sham and Todd Benson and Chris Hatch and Becca Elkin, and then a lot of young folk or new folk, I shouldn't say young, but who haven't been with us. And that's always fun too, that you can go see your favorite actors or somebody that you might not have ever seen on our stage before.
Some up-and-coming actors.
Yes.
Okay. Peter's wondering, isn't Road Less Travel on Main Street near one of the metro stations?
Yes. So that's that's downtown that way, and that's again an off-season production for us. We don't usually do shows during the season, but again this year because it was our 50th, Scott Barron, who runs Road Less Traveled, had reached out to us last year and asked if we would be interested in collaborating. And with it being our 50th season, we're like, this is the perfect time to do something like that.
Love that. Congratulations, 50 season. It's a really amazing thing, and to have this here for free, no less, in Western New York, when so many people are having trouble making ends meet, it's one of those things.
Yeah,
that you
we
wanna take advantage
do.
of.
We do just like in Shakespeare's time. We pass the hat, at intermission. But it's so funny to meet people who've been coming for 50 years who will say,
Are there people really who've been coming for that
yeah,
long? Really?
Yeah, and some of them will say, when I first came, I put in, $1 in, and now years later, I feel I can put a little bit more in and give back, or this was my children's first chance to see live theater. I mean, so many people, like you can bring your whole family.
Sure.
If you can put $20 in there, great for your whole family. If you can put more, great. It again, it's a free will donation, and a lot of people want to, and we have membership, or,
Sure.
we want to make sure we're here for another 50 years for people.
Well, let me ask where that money goes.
Well,
Yeah, it's the investigative
where does
reporter
it
in me.
go?
Follow the
Well,
money.
all of our actors are paid. All of
No
our
way.
everybody. It's a professional theater company.
Oh, wow.
And nobody's getting rich in theater. If your children are
TV.
if your children are going,
We
I
got the peanut
can't.
gallery here laughing.
I can't decide whether I want to be a doctor or an actor. I would say, be a doctor who acts on the side.
There you go.
But no, our entire company, all of our production team, everybody, is paid. We have to put up and take down that stage every year. So a lot of people think that stage is just there year round. We put it up and take it down. So we have workers who do that. We have costume designers and all of that. So the money does go towards things, like that. It helps with our touring productions, helps with our education things that we do.
Can I ask a question? And maybe this is the devil's advocate here. Why not charge for it?
Because that's not our mission. And it just hasn't been for 50 years, and neither in neither in New York City or the others. It is the mission to do free theater. And again, we do fundraising during the year.
Sure.
We have memberships. We do things like that, and the goal is, if you are sitting in the audience and you don't have $5 or $10 to put in the hat, you can still enjoy it, and we will make sure that we stay here forever. And the people around us think it's important to, put a little money in there to keep it going as well.
Accessibility at its finest. I love that.
Yeah.
Lori, good morning to you. Love Norm Sham. He does the musicals at Frontier High School.
Yes, he does.
My daughter loves him. She's known him since she was in 4th grade. Holy
Well,
cow.
you've got to see him in Twelfth Night. He's hysterical.
Peter says, I saw 12th Night at Damon a couple of years ago. Really didn't know the plot, but it was funny and great acting. Sarah says, so cool that something free like that exists in this day. Wonderful. And that's the way it's going to be, is what Lisa's saying. So we thank you so much for being with us, Lisa. You are a gem here in Western New York.
Thank you.
Is Anthony Chase in the show?
No, he's not in it.
Okay.
We can ask him, if
Oh my God.
I said you and he can come in and do some guest appearance.
Well, so it's so funny. So a couple of months ago, gosh, it must have been back in September, almost a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Around Curtain
Yes.
Up. So Lisa and Anthony came in, and we were talking about his star that was going to be
Yes.
unveiled on the Walk of Fame by Shays. And I had never met Anthony Chase
Really?
before. Yeah, that was my first time.
I thought you guys were friends.
No, oh my gosh. But yeah, we're friends now, but I was floored by his commentary.
He's
and-
a font of information.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If you want to know anything about theater, he knows absolutely everything, and he remembers everything.
And then his voice. And Erin, our old editor, who we love, she's no longer with us. She is no longer here. Not that she's no longer with
you
us.
scared me for a moment.
She was like, can he record my voicemail? Which is hysterical. He is the coolest guy. I saw him at Pride the other day, and
Yep.
I literally ran up to him and gave him a hug. I was like, Anthony Chase.
Well, you didn't notice. I was at his table at brunch. You just were kissing him. You didn't
Sorry.
even wave over to me.
I did not realize you were there.
I was doing this, and I was like,
I'm
whatever.
sorry. He
It's okay.
was just there. I saw him. Anthony Chase. Time to audition, Joyce says. I don't know. Like I said, I'll have me on for one day, and
Okay.
I'll just come
See
and
if
say
you like
hello.
it.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa, for entertaining us. You're the best. We love you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Again, we've got more information about Shakespeare in the Park in the comments here. Johnny, my boy over here on my right today, is going to put up that comment one more time where you can actually find a link to more information. And it all starts the 19th?
19th. Yes.
Wow.
Well, the tour's going on all this week. So we opened last night. So Romeo and Juliet, the tour is happening all this week. You can find out the different locations. I think we're in Lancaster tonight. But yeah, check out all those different locations and come see Romeo and Juliet as well.
I'm going to tell my mom and dad about this because they're always looking for something to do. They moved to Buffalo a year ago, August, and music
to be
on.
close to you?
Can you believe that?
Oh, sweet.
I know. My whole family is here now, which is awesome.
Can you get my daughter to move back here?
Where is she?
She's North Carolina. She just had a baby.
Oh,
I'm
Grandma.
not, I know, Granny.
Oh.
And I'm not going to do well without her being here in Buffalo.
Bring her back. What is
I'm
she waiting
trying.
for?
Oh, well, I just told her I'd just bring the baby back, and
You can stay.
she and her husband can visit. I said, I'll just take it, the baby. But anyhow, I digress.
Well, congratulations to you.
Well, thank you, and
How
I'm so
exciting.
happy your parents are here.
Me too. And to have your whole family here, I didn't grow up here. So for me, it's like, wow, this is obviously Buffalo and Western New York is home. But to have your child move away is
Yes, it's
difficult.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad they're here.
too.
Buffalo's a great place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And for, 2 retirees, my dad's subbing, he's having a great time. But they love doing things that are, very cultural. And this is one of those events that
And
I
they
think
can
that
go
they
to,
really enjoy.
they can see great places in Western New York, on this tour that they might not
Sure.
have gone to.
Well, and there you go. I mean, that's what it's all about. We
Yep.
grew up on Long Island. My mom loves theater. See, there she is, chiming in the comments. I knew it. I knew she'd be here.
Well, then she's got to come.
Ma, they got a golf cart for you this
Yes,
year.
we'll bring you right to the hill.
Lisa, thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. Jason says congratulations. This is going to be a great year for you guys. Can Lisa come back to Second Cup more often? Yeah, she's a nice guest. She is a nice guest.
Anytime.
Lisa and I, little do you know, actually serve on the board of directors for Gliss Western New York. So Lisa and I see each other at least once a month.
Yes, we do.
But you might not see Lisa, more than once a year. Lisa, thanks again. We appreciate you. Jordan's going to help you make your way out of the building.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, and hope you have a great season.
Yes, and we'll see you on the hill.
Okay.
Or I'll see you Monday at the board meeting. Bye.
So funny. Again, John's got a link to the comments here for you for Shakespeare in Delaware Park. Thank you again, Lisa. We appreciate you. Briefly, a lot going on here this weekend when it comes to what's happening all around Western New York. This is one of those weekends where we are... Do you want me to move over? No? Okay. This is one of those weekends where we've got a lot going on here. Father's Day is Sunday. Oh my gosh, wait, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday. Her name is Carly Kennedy. Sorry, Carly, for blowing up your spot here like this. But we were at the gym. She's one of the coaches at my gym. And she's like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, do you want to hop in here? Yeah, come on in. Oh, we have... Oh my God. John is going to fix the camera again. Jordan Broking is our 5 a.m. producer. We'll touch on this in a second. Okay, but wait. So my friend Carly Kennedy, she is one of our coaches at the gym, and she's gorgeous, beautiful, also single. So if you are a handsome man looking for a very tall, scooch in, very tall, very smart, very talented, fit woman, Carly's your girl. But anyway, she was saying, what are you doing this weekend? And I go, oh, it's Father's Day. I'm going to hang with my dad on Sunday and Russ's dad on Sunday and blah, blah, blah. She goes, no, that's this weekend. And I'm like, yeah, where have you been? She goes, no, I thought it was next weekend.
That's what Zach thought too.
No, where have you guys been? So anyway, Father's Day is this weekend. Don't forget about that. Jordan Broking is here with us. Jordan is our 5 a.m. producer. She's amazing. We love her so much. She also is, we've been comparing Jordan to the General. Go to the General and save some time. That guy.
Pretty much.
Because Jordan talks so fast, and she's got like that same voice as the General. How does it go, John? You know what I'm talking about? Can you tell us?
They know.
I don't even know.
How does it go?
Jordan,
you
got it.
For a great low rate?
For a great low rate, you can save on time. Go to the General and save some time.
Something like
You can
that.
save online. Go to the General and save some time. Come on, Jordan.
For a
it's
great
your
low rate, you can
catchphrase.
save online. Jordan is so funny. So you'll often hear us ragging on Jordan during the 5 a.m. hour. Is she old enough to drive? Barely. She was just telling us. We're like, Jordan, how old are you?
Turning 24 in August.
But she's smart, and so we'll take the brains, and the drive and the dedication. We appreciate you, Jordan. Any weekend plans?
Allentown Art Fest.
Oh my God,
Great
fun!
festival around. So.
Yes, we were just saying that you're the queen of Allentown, Jordan.
Yes, love Allentown.
And how you were at Gabe's Gate the other day.
Yes. fun time.
Have you been to Allentown before? The festival?
Oh yeah, I went there last year.
Okay,
We
great.
got a few different art pieces last year.
Now you're from Jersey. Have you seen anything like this before?
The art festival?
Yeah.
Not where I lived, like the city or a town next door to
Okay.
where I lived. Like they used to have a lot of like art festivals or like just festivals in general. Like my hometown maybe had like I can't remember what it was called at this point, but like they would close down the main street, whatever, like for a few days in the summer,
Cool.
and then they'd have me like a St. Patrick's Day parade, and that was it. That was
Okay,
about
so
where I
this
got
is like a big festival then.
yeah,
comparatively.
definitely. Oh, 100%.
Well, it's going to be awesome. There are more vendors this year compared to what we saw in years past. Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. So if you're interested, by all means, the Allentown Art Festival is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We got Juneteenth. And it's just going to be one of those great Western New York weekends as we head into the start of summer. So, Jordan, do you want to grace us with any final few words?
Have a great weekend. I was thrown here, so have a great weekend. I got no clue.
What, Jordan? Have a great weekend, everyone.